So this is cool. The 49ers may be adding a quarterback who's Brock Purdy's age from Brock Purdy's hometown. Not here, that's the beer garden at Shaver Lake. Shaver Lake in the summer. How about driving with David as we talk about Jack Plummer, who's going to work out for the 49ers tomorrow. Remember, this is still the rookie portion of training camp before the veterans have to report on Saturday. The Shorthorn Bar and Grill. This is such a cool little town. Can't wait to show it to you guys as we talk about Plummer, who actually played a year at Cal, 6'4" quarterback. 49ers, if he impresses them, and he spent a year in the league, and he was the UFL MVP this past season. So this guy, I think, has some juice, 6'4 plus, physical player, played at Purdue, played at Cal, played at Louisville. Could bolster the 49ers quarterback room. He was at Gilbert High School in Arizona. That is Gilbert, Arizona, suburb of Phoenix. Same hometown or same high school town as Brock Purdy, who went to Perry High School. Now, speaking of Brock Purdy, third down is where Shanahan's system can help Brock Purdy the least. But take a look at where Brock Purdy has the biggest gap over all other NFL quarterbacks. It is on third down. 0.51 expected points added per play, per drop back on third down for Brock Purdy. Joe Burrow was number 2 last year, way back there at 0.36. So Purdy's been number 1 in the NFL efficiency-wise across all downs, but third down is where the gap is the largest. How about Huntington Lake? This is one of the best sailing lakes in the entire U.S., above 7,000 feet. So even when it's 108 degrees down in the Central Valley, perfect weather here with nice prevailing wind at Huntington Lake. Why is Purdy even better on third downs than he is on first and second downs? Well, it's because on third down, out of structure capability is even more rewarded for a quarterback. So we talk about the fact that Purdy has the best pressure to sack ratio in the entire NFL. That means he's the hardest quarterback to sack in the entire league. Well, that shows up a lot on third down because you've got these situations where edge rushers are pinning their ears back, and quarterback who's less mobile, who's got less of an elite 10-yard burst, that's somebody who is going to get sacked more often than a Brock Purdy. Also, Purdy pushes the ball downfield. He's courageous. He tries to find open windows that more conservative quarterbacks will often bypass. On third down, that risk-taking, that bravery is more likely to be rewarded, especially if that QB is accurate. So escapability, accuracy, gall, guts, bravery, all of those things are rewarded more on third down, and obviously it all works within the context of a quarterback knowing where his receivers are. So, I mean, if you want the end-all, be-all for any Brock Purdy debate, go to the third down statistics. I mean, last year, we have these charted on an XY axis. So further to the right, further up is where you want to be. Purdy's dot completely off the charts. I mean, this is insane. I don't know if we've seen a performance this far and above the rest of the league. And this is the type of stuff that people, for some reason, think that it's a good idea to ignore. They don't like the data because they don't like being proven wrong, so they just ignore it. Or they just say, well, this is Kyle Shanahan. It's not Kyle Shanahan. If it was just Kyle Shanahan, every single Kyle Shanahan quarterback would be in the very upper right of this XY chart. But not every single Kyle Shanahan quarterback. Only Brock Purdy is this far to the right, this far up on the XY chart. It definitely isn't the 49ers' weapons because the receivers actually ranked near or at the bottom of the league in 2025. They weren't getting separation. It's not the 49ers' run game. They had the second fewest explosive runs in the entire league. They were at the very bottom or very near the bottom in terms of yards per carry. So Purdy was able to do this without the support that people say that he gets. They say that he gets top tier support. He doesn't. He didn't have top tier support last year. It was more like bottom tier support, and he was still in the very upper right. That is an elite quarterback, point blank. There is absolutely no question about it. Now, the exciting thing for the 49ers this offseason has been that they're adding what they think is top tier support. First, they hope that they're going to be a heck of a lot more healthy with George Kittle back, and that they hope to maintain health for Christian McCaffrey. That's obviously a big part of what the 49ers are looking for this year, but it's the wide receiver core. They should be bigger, more skilled, obviously, with Mike Evans, but also faster than they've been at any point in the Kyle Shanahan and especially the Brock Purdy tenure. And when that's the case, you start to talk about the field being stretched. I mean, even in 2023, when they had a record-setting offense with Brock Purdy, who should have won MVP that year as the quarterback. I mean, he was historically good for the 49ers that season. They didn't have the type of speed that they project to have this year. And I'm not counting Mike Evans into the speed equation. He obviously is an older receiver who's going to be more of a contested catch kind of guy for the 49ers. But I am talking about Christian Kirk. You look at the times that Christian Kirk put up on the miles per hour last year, it was moving faster than sailboats on Huntington Lake. That was sure unless there's a lot of wind here, I'm sure these boats can start moving. But Christian Kirk had some of the best metrics it would have been the best of any 49ers receiver when it came to his miles per hour times. And his 3 times, the fastest ones from the playoff game in Pittsburgh, were faster than anything a 49ers receiver put up last year. A healthy Ricky Pearsall can move. If Jacob Cowing is healthy and can deliver, that can add more speed to the 49ers offense. And then, we've been talking about it so much with De'Zhaun Stribling, 4.36 speed, which is legit 4.36 speed. I saw him run away from a 4.4 Georgia cornerback on tape last year. The 49ers have what it takes to truly stretch the field. And for a quarterback like Brock Purdy, who's been so damn good for San Francisco, that is absolutely invaluable. So I think that this is going to be a high efficiency year for Purdy. He was high efficiency in 2024 when San Francisco had absolutely nothing. Very bottom of the league in terms of separation. No ex-wide receiver. Ayuk hurt after week 7. Ayuk was terrible over the first few weeks of the season after he got paid. Now Purdy actually is going to have weapons. And the last time that he had a full stable of weapons was 2023 again, and he was the top quarterback in the league by a wide margin. He was historically good the last time that he had weapons. So now he should have weapons and they should be faster. Right? They should have more space out on the field. And it turns into one of those things, how high can Brock Purdy take this? Well, a lot of it will depend on just how healthy the 49ers can stay, but he should be a better quarterback mentally than he was with more experience than 2023. And well, the sky's the limit. That's why people are talking about this 49ers offense being the very best unit in the entire league. And I think that's going to have to be the locomotive that pulls the train, because the defense, well, if they can get into that top half, then they'll be true Super Bowl contenders, maybe Super Bowl favorites if they can improve this from number 21 to the top 10. But still, it's the offense that the 49ers are counting on to be top 3 in 2026. Water, I just swam in it, decently warm. Much warmer now than it is in the winter when this place is frozen over. Huntington Lake, we're above 7,000 feet. There's even, one of the crazy stories during World War II, there's an air base down in Fresno, which is, an hour and a half driving from here. Now with the new highway, back then it was further. But there was bad weather and there was a military plane which tried to land on a frozen over Huntington Lake because they thought that this was an open meadow, but it was actually just a frozen over lake. And unfortunately, tragically, the plane crashed, and the wreckage of that plane is still in the bottom of this lake. So a lot of history up here in the Sierra Nevada. Now back to the larger quarterback situation. Jack Plummer working out for the 49ers tomorrow. I have to emphasize that he is not related to Jake Plummer. Where's number 16? He's even joked that people think that Jake Plummer is his dad, but that is not the case. We have to talk about potential 49ers roster moves because I think that Jack Plummer is coming in potentially to help work out other roster tryout invitees for the 49ers. Remember that Khalil Dinkins, the rookie tight end out of Penn State, is on the non-football injury list, so the 49ers might be looking to sign another tight end. They might be trying out other players before the formal start of training camp practice. The first practice is going to be on Sunday. So the 49ers right now are looking to roster a good team to run through some of these practice sessions. I can tell you that moves that almost certainly will be coming over the course of the next couple days are Mykel Williams to PUP, the physically unable to perform list. George Kittle to PUP, the physically unable to perform list. We'll see about somebody like Nick Bosa. Maybe he doesn't start on PUP, but he probably does. And we'll see about Isaac Guerendo, the running back who tore his pectoral muscle and missed the spring program for San Francisco. So there, as guys report and as they prepare for practice, the 49ers are going to have to set their roster, and they're going to have to determine who's healthy, who's still rehabbing, and by extension, they're also going to have to bring in some players to make sure that they are as optimized as possible for some of these practices. So the Jack Plummer quarterback workout could help them try out some players in a way that sets things up for the 49ers to test who's best to sign over the course of these next couple of days. So stay tuned for those moves. Remember that anybody placed on PUP or NFI, and NFI probably already done at this point for San Francisco, those are injuries that happen away from the team facility, so it's probably only PUP happening from now on since the rookies have reported. Those guys still count against the 90-man roster. It's not until PUP or NFI extends into the post-cutdown days where those players can be shielded from the 53-man roster. But these guys are still going to count against the 90-man, so some roster maneuvering certainly coming up. Hopefully you've enjoyed the drive here through Shaver Lake. We showed you Huntington Lake a little bit earlier in the video, and we made some nice pizza out on the balcony yesterday. And the pizza stone even caught on fire. I think some of the olive oil leaked there, as you can see. But next time, we'll have a little bit more of that. Talk to everybody soon.